On January 23rd, Malta's Losco became the 5th Eurovision 2016 act to be selected. So it's time to go around and say our Eurovision top 5. Now y'all, before the camera started rolling, we actually had a little chat and all of us have the same number 5. So Poreg, why don't you introduce it?
Well, it's probably not a huge surprise. It's Belarus IVAN with Help You Fly.
I will help you learn how to fly.
We all agreed that it's dated rock that's better suited 2002, 2003. We don't need it in 2016.
Yeah, and it's such a shame too. There were a few songs in Belarus I thought could have been bearable, but this is not one of them. It's like a dated rock sound from a Soviet dive bar that no one would want to sneak into. I mean, it could make the final with a bit of production help, aka they rewrite it, but at this point I think it's going to be a struggle.
I agree, yeah, Belarus is my number 5 as well.
You've released yourself before you can let go.
I've only heard it once and it's not very memorable. The only thing I can remember is the fact that it's a bit of a rockier song, and I can remember his luscious long hair. But, you know, long hair isn't going to get you to the final in Stockholm, so game needs to be lifted here, otherwise I won't see you in the final at all.
Speaking of long hair, we turn to our number 4, Poreg.
Number 4, it's Eneda Tarifa from Albania with Fairytale. I love her vocals personally, but the song itself, it leaves me a bit cold. It's very dramatic, it's very cinematic, but it's just not memorable enough to grab me, and I can't remember the melody unless I listen to it on loop for maybe about an hour. Then I can remember it for maybe 2 hours afterwards, and I forget it again. I still have hopes for it, but until the revamp appears, it's my number 4.
I agree entirely, my number 4 as well. It's not a terrible song, but, you know, at the moment it is 4 minutes, so inevitably it's going to have to get some sort of edit. Hopefully there's a few elements in the song that are more fine-tuned, I suppose. But I'm not counting it out yet, but it is still my number 4.
All I can remember is It's like this kind of, not that she's screaming, but there's like this guttural, angry kind of, and it's on loop. I mean, I think she has great potential here to give us something powerful and dramatic, but I think they need to chop, cut, rearrange, edit. That's the key word. Now, it is time to go around and reveal our individual top 3, starting with Poreg.
My number 3 is Tesoro from Belgium with What's the Pressure.
Now what's the pressure?
The song itself is good, the singer itself is good, but as a package, it's like giving a Beyonce song to Cheryl Cole. It just doesn't work. They don't meld. The whole thing is a mess as a result, which is a great shame.
My number 3 is also Laura from Belgium.
This is fiction.
It's a good song. I think it's catchy, and I think that there was a lot of shade thrown at Laura during the Belgian final last weekend for no reason. I do think that her song was better than Tom's, but it was catchy, it's memorable. The staging was good with the light upstairs at the back of the stage with the backing singers dancing around. If they can kind of replicate the staging in Stockholm, but again, just finesse those little details, I think it could make the final, and I do like the song.
I think it's a borderline qualifier.
Now what's the pressure?
I am not a fan of the song, but I think Laura is amazing. I'm still annoyed that she relies on blaxploitation, aka all of her backers and backing vocalists and dancers are of African descent. I think that this is just a little generic. I think they're trying to take funk and say, ooh, we'll make female funk and be original. But you know what? It sounds like every other funk song I have ever heard. It's very throwback 70s, and I don't think they've updated it sufficiently for 2016. Now, our number 2.
Much to know as it pains me as an Irishman, because I've been delighted for the last 2 weeks to have Ireland as my number 1, but Ireland is officially my number 2.
In the sunlight, we stay together, we'll live forever.
It's a big step up for Ireland. Sunlight, it's memorable, it's catchy. I've heard non-Eurovision fans singing along to it in the last few weeks, but it just doesn't have the extra edge that's needed to push it into the top 10.
So my top number 2 is also Ireland.
Touch who you wanna, kiss who you gotta.
It's a good song, and as Porrick has already said, it is a step in the right direction for Ireland. He's a member of a well-known band. I think Australia as an audience will really get behind Nicky once everyone learns that he was a part of Westlife. But it's a good song. It suits his vocal range. It suits his style. He's a handsome guy. Yeah, but number 2 for me.
My number 2 is also Ireland.
Music live, we can join the crowd in the sun.
And I gotta say, I really like this song. I think it's very happy. I think he will go to the final. I mean, Ireland often struggles, but I don't think this is borderline. I'm pretty confident this will go through, especially if Europe keeps sending dated Nickelback rock songs. This is just, it's current, it's happy, feel good. And now, it is time to reveal our number 1, our top pick in our Eurovision top 5, Porrick.
Well, given I've already revealed my 4 other songs and there's only 5, my number 1 is Losco with Chameleon, Invincible from Malta.
I'll be there from the start, standing here by your side.
Her song, it still needs a lot of work, it still needs a revamp, but even in its current kind of raw state, it still has the most going for it. It's a touch on the alternative side. It's not pure generic pop. If I was to compare it to something, I'd say it's more Margaret Berger rather than Krista Siegfried's. And it's got that something special. Ira Losco, we know she's a star. In Malta, she's basically the biggest pop star on the island, which is a very small pond, admittedly. But if she can break out of that, because she managed to come, was it 3rd or 2nd in 2002, and I think she has the confidence, she has the star factor, and she has the team behind her that can bring it right up into the final and potentially into the top 10 or even top 5.
Surprise, surprise, my number 1 is also Malta.
We are invincible.
Again, just going off what Porrick has already said, the song still needs some work, but it is early days. I love the song up until like the end of the first chorus, because it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then it just stays very, very monotone the entire way through. If it just continues that build, easy top 10 for Malta this year.
Yeah, I think producers, music professionals will get behind this. It sounds like it could be on the radio right now, and it's so modern, it'll still be relevant in May. Oh, and by the way, my number 1 is also Malta, Miss Ira Losco.
I'll be there from the start, standing here by your side.
We've said it before, but she is our 7th wonder still. She has like the entire Eurovision community behind her, but she crosses that. She builds bridges with the mainstream. She's a beauty. Do you know she fronted McDonald's in Malta for a time? That says a lot. She's beautiful, but she can also sell a hamburger. She does everything like a chameleon. She is versatile. I have so much positivity about this. I feel like Malta, if they do tweak it, they could go top 10, they could go top 5. I'm feeling good. Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Let us know here on wiwibloggs, and be sure to comment with your top 5 in the video. Press like, please subscribe. See you later.
Bye!
Bye.
On January 20... This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. It's because I'm aware what I'm wearing beneath the camera, but no one else is, and so I keep giggling. All right.